motherhood, you're sitting in the car in the freaking front seat and the wheel is not in your hands. You have zero control. And it's the first 3 months, every ultrasound that you're going, and you don't have any idea what they're going to tell you, any two words that can shatter you. You don't know if the baby is going to need a C-section and you're going to have to, go into operations. You don't know if that's going to cause more C-sections. You don't know, you just don't know anything. And
never know what the woman next to you had to go through
and
in
is
order
going
to
through,
get or
and
is
going through.
Yeah.
Hello, and welcome back to episode number 4 of the MOMLINE. I'm Chana Rachel.
And I am Orpaz Levy.
And today we're going to be speaking about a subject that is a little bit different from what we've been speaking about up until now. Becoming a mother isn't just about disciplining your children and developing that relationship with your kid. It is also about becoming a mother. And every woman goes through such a different journey to becoming a mother. For some women, it's just natural and easy and smooth. And for many women, actually, 1 in 4 pregnancies end in pregnancy loss, in miscarriage, stillbirth. And I think this is such a topic that it's taboo, it's unspoken about, it's uncomfortable to speak about. And today we're really here to speak a little bit more about this and to kind of give light to any woman who is going through this right now or has gone through this.
Yes, Chana Rachel brought this up and it hits home. I told her, I'm like, when we look at each other, we all just see like, oh, it's just one regular mom and everyone has it together. But we never know what someone else went through. And for me, it's been like, you have to be careful when you say something. You think you say B'shat Tova to someone and then they're like, I'm not pregnant, and they just gained weight and you are so embarrassed that you even mentioned something, or mentioning something and then they just had a miscarriage and they don't want to say anything. So it's just like being very, very careful. I think like this is where women are very like, we're just hesitant to bring it up and talk about it. For me, I know when I went through a miscarriage, it just seemed something like I had no idea. I was like, where is this coming from? Like no one ever spoke to me about it. And only after it happened, I started researching about it and trying to figure things out. But I didn't really have anyone to talk to about it. And I just, Googled it a little bit and went through it. And that was it. And that was the end of it. But then like slowly, like I talked to my friends or whatever, and they're like, oh, I had one. Oh, I had one. I had one. Like, you think that you're the only one. But really, there's so many women that are just walking around. That's part of their journey.
I want to talk about what it's like to go through a miscarriage. I don't think there's anything easy about whether it's in the beginning, whether it's in the end. Everyone goes through it so differently. When you're going through it, really, it's like, you get invested. You get invested in this idea of your family growing, in this idea of like, oh, I'm pregnant again. And every day is a whole new world of like, let's get through today.
Yeah.
And the first 3 months where most of the miscarriages happen, where most women go through absolute nausea and they go through the vomiting, hormones are insane.
And being tired and not being able to take care of your other kids because you just want to sleep.
Being tired and exhausted. But the main factor, Arpaz, is the isolation, because you can't share, or some people do, but you don't want to share the news before 3 months. Right. And when people ask you, how are you doing? You can't really share, oh, this morning I puked in front of my, kid, or, you can't just go and be open about it. And so there's a lot of isolation and there's a lot of loneliness in there. And every single day that you get through that day, you get, you get more and more invested in this idea, and sometimes it just doesn't work, and it's heartbreaking. And you know what it's like? It's actually like in the Iran war, the sirens, it went through my nervous system. Like it went through like this is, I have to run. Yeah. And then, and sort of like when you find out that you have a miscarriage, it's like your nervous system, it wakes up like that, in that really, really similar way of like, that's it. Like, and it is so, it's just, your whole reality changes. And the weirdest thing is that like you get invested for so long in this idea, and then snap, in a few minutes where you're sitting, whether it is
Yeah.
you're in the bathroom bleeding or whether it is you're in the ultrasound technician and she's like, sorry, I don't hear a heartbeat. It's like suddenly you have these miniature fleeting moments that you need to totally reevaluate your life and reevaluate your reality and get used to this new reality that in split seconds shattered something that you were already thinking about for so long.
Yeah. It's like the thing that just came into my mind right now is like man plans, God laughs. You know, like we have this plan and you're planning, I'm growing my family. You see it all working out and you know, some people aren't excited about a pregnancy, but I'll talk about the times that we are excited. It's not up to us, but I think the emunah here has to be so strong because if you don't bring it in, it makes it so much harder. And if we know that it's all for the best and you know, hakol letova, gamzo letova, then that's the thing that really picked me up because you know like who are we, you know, this is what we have to go through and I just convinced myself and you know this was not a healthy baby and it was not meant to be and you have to bring it up to your mind, you know, you have to like disconnect from your body even though you're going through a miscarriage and then you know you're becoming nida again after being with your husband, you know, like long you were into the pregnancy, but it's like just this whole new, like you're saying, like you have to just revamp, okay, like, and then just I think the emunah, you can't detach from that. It has to be something that has to pick you up. And for me, I had to explain it to my husband. Like he was like, oh, like no biggie, you know, and I was like, what do you mean? Like he's like, oh, it's just really early, you know. I'm like, no. Like even if it was 9 weeks, but I was like, I still, you know, was excited for 9 weeks. You think it's a little time, but it's a long time for a woman to wake up every morning, like
Every
you're saying, every
morning.
morning, every night, feeling it, raising other kids, and at any point in the pregnancy, it's something that the woman goes through, and the husband doesn't get it.
I feel like every husband goes through it differently. Like I have a very close friend that every time she has a miscarriage, like she just gets over it because she's had so many. But she tells me her husband is the one that grieves it even more.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
but I relate a little bit more to what you're saying. I think us as moms, like this is like our body. We feel it inside of us. We feel it growing. Our whole body changes the second
Yeah.
we become pregnant. I just think that we have to like rewire the way we think because especially when you first get married and you're on this high of like, wow, I just got married. Wow, I just got pregnant. Like it's not just like that. You don't just get married and get pregnant and bam bam, thank you ma'am. You know, like
Took
it's
me almost 2 years to get pregnant my first time.
yeah.
So I totally lived through that. And again, it's like you never know what the woman next to you had to go through
And
in
is going
order to get,
through
or
and is
is.
going
Yeah.
through. Do you
You
know how
never,
long it
never
takes
know. Yeah.
to get if you a woman needs an operation? It's not
Yeah.
just, oh, let me go to the doctor and get the operation. Women sit for weeks to get this operation and to walk around feeling like there's a lifeless something in their body and then not being able to go and work because they're unable to be in full capacity and to
Yeah.
lose money because their body abandoned them and let them down. Like it's just so it's you know, just never know. You never know. And I think
Right.
motherhood is the catalyst for this. I think motherhood, you're sitting in the car in the freaking front seat and the wheel is not in your hands. You have zero control. And it's the first 3 months, every ultrasound that you're going and you don't have any idea what they're going to tell you, any two words that can shatter you. You don't know if the baby is going to need a C-section and you're going to have to, go into operations. You don't know if that's going to cause more C-sections. You don't know, you don't still know anything. And the idea of coming out in the end of this with a healthy baby in your hands, in your arms,
Miracle.
it's the
100%.
hugest miracle.
100%.
It's the hugest miracle. When both of my babies were born, when they were first born, or Paz, it took them a minute until they were breathing. It took them a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
no, in C-section though, they don't cry at first. It's harder for them. My baby also. Yeah.
the first minute of their life,
Yeah.
stop breathing. You can't breathe. How
they
can you
warned
breathe
me.
when you go through the whole 9.5 months? You're in the
Yeah.
operation room. A baby comes out and is floppy. What are you supposed to think?
Yeah.
What are you supposed to think?
I don't. In those moments, we don't think. In those moments, really.
I think it's the only way to
think
get through
that's-
it is not to
right,
think.
Right. I'm saying like you detach yourself. Like there's a place where your mind and body, like you just have to like. When I go into these crazy situations, in births, deliveries, and extreme situations, I like really like take my mind out. Like it's kind of like a meditation mode, and I'm like Hashem, take my mind where it needs to be. I'm with you. Do what like make my body do whatever it needs to do. You
It's
know, like
incredible.
let's just get
Yeah.
through this.
Yes.
But I think the word from all of this is hitbatlut. You know, like when you are totally, what's the word in English for hitbatlut? When
Humbled.
you're just when you're humbled
You
and
exclude yourself from the
and
situation. This
yeah,
is just
but
your body, but it's not yours.
right. But when you're humbled and you say that it's all in Hashem's hands, then that is the control. Because if we're looking to be in control in our life, then we can't. I think part of being a mom and getting older is understanding that we are not in control. And when you think that you can be in control of every single thing, then you can't. And your kids will laugh at you when you think that you can be in control. And just life and these things and miscarriages and deliveries, C-sections, all this. We are in God's hands. And I'm here to like go through the story of my motherhood and my journey in life. And, like it just you have to feel that. You have to understand that it's not up to us.
It's quite a fine balance, because it's like you need to be invested, but you need not to be. Like you need to be
Right.
like this is my body,
'Cause it's
but
our
it's not
body.
my body.
'Cause it's
But
our body.
but it's not. Is it really
Right.
my body? Like after 120 years, it's not going to be here anymore.
Right.
Like our spirit is going to be here. I think also something that led me through my experience is the need for prayer and song. I think this is something that no one teaches you in school, but there are so many moments on your journey to motherhood where nothing can soothe you, not ice cream, not your husband, not anything. It's only you. And I think it's really like the deep prayer that comes from the neshama. Anytime I had like a difficult situation when I was in the hospital or being led to the emergency room or whatever, I always like close my eyes and like I start saying like Tehillim, like בשם השם אלוקי ישראל, מימיני מיכאל, משמאלי גבריאל, מלפניי אוריאל, מאחריי רפאל, and coming out in song. When you don't have your clothing on you, you're wrapped in a robe of the hospital, and you don't have your possessions on you. It's only you that can give yourself self-soothing and self-comfort. And it's something that I feel like mothers, I feel like that is my role now in my children's life, to teach them to sing. Not just songs of like K-pop, sorry for all the K-pop people out there, but so like, real music for your
Yeah.
neshama, the chicken
Yeah.
soup for the soul that will lead you through
Yeah.
all of these experiences. It's so
Yeah.
important. I can't describe how important this is.
It's not only singing. Some people don't sing, but enjoying music. That in itself, because there's some of my kids enjoy singing more than others, but I want all of them to know that music is just like I tell them, I'm like, don't you feel it? Like, do you feel it in your shama like me? And I really talk to them about it. Like every, like 8, 9, 10. I'm like, do you feel that? Do you like?
What music does it for you?
Oh, I'm totally like Jewish music all the
Jewish?
way. I
What, Karlbach? Shlomo Katz?
No,
Moshav?
no. So Yaakov Shweki was my go-to, like when I started the tshuva process, and that was like I would like just sit in the car and like scream out scream at the top of my lungs, and just like it was like it really, really made my emunah so much stronger, and I really connected to Judaism through music then. So it started with Yaakov Shweki. Now we're big. We're also listening to a lot of Israeli. Yishai Rivo is like, oh my God, at the top of our playlist
Yeah,
at
Yishai
home.
Rivo is
We're like
great.
we're on the top of his fans. Some of Hanan Ben Ari's.
So
Still
just-
listen to Yaakov Shweki, Mordechai Shapiro.
Oh, I love
We
Mordechai
have we have
Shapiro.
some pop in there, but it's all like neshama music.
One of the things I did is that I printed out songs that I enjoy singing for Shabbat. It's not only just about, Shama v'zachol, but it's the songs for the neshama, right? The Shabbat is the day
It's
of
like a
your
love. It's a
neshama.
love festival. Shir
Yeah.
Shirim. That's how you start Shabbat.
Sometimes I wonder why the Ashkenazim don't sing Shir Hashirim on Friday nights. But anyway, the reason that I want to bring awareness to this is because last week, 2 of my friends went through their own miscarriages, and it reminded me how common this is. How many women are going through this, and every woman is going through it differently. For some women, they go through it and they can snap out of it. And for some women, they grieve for weeks, and it's women who you would never know. You never know who's going through it. And if a person feels ready to share, they're going to share about it, but it's not something that you can ask about. Some of the best things that you could do if you know of a friend who's going through this: make her soup, buy her something from the bakery. Don't ask if she wants you to buy stuff. Do it yourself. Do it yourself to comfort her, just the way that you would want to be comforted. Like, give her an emotional hug. Things that are good to say is just, I hear you, I'm here for you, it must really hurt. It's really not finding a solution. It's not finding a solution for them.
The word I say in Hebrew is basa. I know it's such a basa. Like, it's such a disappointment. Even if a woman doesn't go through it, she could only imagine what it is, because you know how excited you are when you're pregnant and all of a sudden you're not. So you can relate to that idea. Mm-hmm. And if you have gone through it, then you know that it's a basa, even though you know that she'll go through it differently. But it's just, that's why I feel like we all have this sisterhood, and moms are moms. And that's why I tell moms, I'm like, you look like this and I look like this, but we all go through the same thing, like with a little version, with the differences here and there, but we all go through this stuff, and we're all here together.
We really are.
Yeah.
We really are. I wish no one had to go through it. Really,
you have to think back in the day, women would die in births all the time, in their deliveries all the time.
I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the technologies of today. Yeah, I'm sure so many women wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Such good technologies.
Yeah. 3 of my deliveries, I had not fun situations where it was life-threatening.
Really?
To the point of,
wow.
Yeah. So, and then, and after speaking to other women, all of a sudden she's like, oh my God, that happened to me. Oh my God. And that too is something that you think that every woman, just like you said, you get married, you get pregnant, you have a baby, you go to the hospital, you come home with your hands full, and it's all voila, like a fairy tale. And that happens 100% miracle. And the rest of the time, it doesn't happen like that. And it's just like a roller coaster ride, You don't know how you're going to get home.
Yeah.
You never know.
I think that's the gift of motherhood, because it really does remind you that nothing is in your hands. Nothing is in your hands. And every step of the way getting to motherhood is a gift, not to be taken for granted. And there's many more on this topic. It's just endless layers. So I think it's an interesting topic to explore.
Yeah. I can talk about every single birth, pregnancy of mine for an hour. So we'll cut it short.
We'll end here for today. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this valuable. And if you have any questions, comments, or insights, we would love to hear from you.
Yes, keep them coming.
Chaim.
Chaim, to next time.